When I was 8 years old, I had a friend. Her name was Caitlin. We were best friends. In the playground, we would pretend we were dinosaur moms laying our eggs in the sandbox. We would pretend we were unicorns. And I just emulated everything she did, and she emulated everything I did. And so, of course, when she got her hair cut to a cute little bob when we were 8, I decided that I had to match her. I just had to. And so my mom took me to Supercuts, and I told the stylist what I wanted, and I got a haircut that ended up being all one layer from here down to my ears, the middle of my ears, and then suddenly was just buzzed. Like I looked like some little tiny androgynous monk. Like it was awful. But I might not have noticed if it hadn't been for the fact that very soon after, a little girl came up to me on the playground while I was on the monkey bars. Remember, I was only 8. And she asked me with all sincerity if I was a boy or a girl, because she just couldn't tell. And I don't blame her, though I do harbor some bad feelings. But it was just an awful haircut, and I felt awful about myself. And maybe I shouldn't have felt so strongly about gender constructs and gender identities when I was 8 years old, but I did. I knew I was a girl. I knew that I did not want to be a boy, and her asking me if I was a boy or a girl just appalled me. It just shook me to my core. Same thing happened when I was 16. And I had just recently cut my hair into a pixie cut because everybody insisted that I just looked just like Audrey Hepburn, and it would just enhance my beauty, right? Well, I also had really bright green braces, and I had to wear bright red lipstick, and that just clashed. And when I was working at an ice cream store, an old man came up to me one time with his grandson and told his grandson to tell the nice young man what you would like to order today. Young man, okay? I'm pretty sure from that point on I always wore lipstick to work because I did not want anybody mistaking me for a boy again. And so those kinds of experiences of growing my hair out, cutting it, feeling awful, then growing it out again happened intermittently throughout my childhood. And so when I graduated high school, I decided, you know what, no more, I'm gonna grow it out. That's it, I'm just gonna grow it out. And I did, away from all the influence from everybody, I grew it out happily. But I didn't know how to style it, but I grew it out, I liked it. And it got about here. And then last September, someone came up to me, well no, last September I was on the phone with my mom, and she just randomly started talking about how much she missed my short hair, and how much everybody missed my short hair, and how good and how stunning I looked when I had short hair. And I thought that, wow, like I don't agree with her, but my self-image is really caught up in my hair because I started feeling really scared. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it because my self-esteem should not be tied up in my hair, and because I need to face my fears to get over this. And so I did, I cut it, and guess what? I hated it. I cried myself to sleep every night. I felt like I had lost all the identity, all the character, all the progress that I had made in the past few years after high school. And I learned that day that just because you're scared of something doesn't mean you should or shouldn't do it. It just means that it's going to be a hard decision. And that comfort zones are there for a reason. And if it's not super important to your eternal salvation or to your career or education, like, who cares, you know? Because if it's my hair, the only person who should care is me. Thanks.